Hello and welcome to this tutorial for ReeFlex's G-Series CPL filter. If you're new to the G-Series or to CPL filters in general, then this video is for you. CPL stands for Circular Polarizer, and this filter can enhance color saturation, contrast, and minimize glare and reflection by selectively blocking polarized light. And in order for you to get the most out of the G-Series CPL, it's really helpful for you to know what polarized light actually is, so you know how and when to use your filter. So when a light source, like the sun, emits light, the light travels in all directions. But when it interacts with something, like when it reflects off a body of water or a piece of glass or passes through a cloud, these interactions can align the light waves in specific directions, creating polarized light. And the circular polarizer is designed to block certain orientations of polarized light, and that's key. Because polarized light is directional, the CPL can't block all of it at the same time, so you need to rotate the filter until you find the optimal effect. For example, if you rotate your filter to block polarized light from the left, some could still get through from the right, so you have to find the right balance for you. And it does mean that your results will vary, and it's impossible for me to say that if you use your CPL like this in this situation, then you will definitely get a particular result. Hopefully this will all become clear with some examples. First, you can use G-Series CPL directly on your iPhone, or you can attach it to a G-Series lens. But I've already made a 10-minute long video going into getting started with putting your phone in the case correctly, the adapters, the filters, lenses, all that stuff. So I'll link that video below. I'm going to skip that part today and go straight to CPL stuff. Let's start with this wet landscape example. Here you can see glare on the wet rocks around the falls. It's on the water here, and there's also more in places you might not even notice or think that there'd be any. But after rotating the CPL, you can see the glare has now been nicely removed from the rock and the water. But take a look over here too. This entire area was wet and light was subtly reflecting off the ground, but the CPL has removed it and enhanced the colours at the same time. But take a look on the other side of the frame, because the opposite has happened over there, demonstrating what I said before about not being able to remove all polarized light from the entire image due to its directional properties. Here's another similar nature example. Again, the CPL has removed that distracting shine from the rocks, but its biggest impact was down here, where it's taken all that shine, all that reflection off the water, and now you can see into the murky depths below. Another great place to use eCPL is in a city in the middle of a sunny day, because modern cities use a lot of glass in their buildings, so there's lots of shine and glare and reflections around that the CPL can remove. Now, I'm not saying that you need to remove all reflections all the time, because reflections are cool. They are very cool. But I'm just showing you what the CPL can do. Take a look at this example. The sun was right here and clouds were reflecting off this glass building like it was a mirror. And the CPL gave me a choice: keep the reflections or remove them. This is one of my favorite examples. Here I'm using the CPL directly on top of the 5x telephoto on the iPhone 15 Pro Max to cut out the reflections of the sky in this glass strip. And that's something else about CPL filters. They typically work better and produce more pleasing results when not used with wide-angle lenses, because wide-angle lenses capture a larger portion of a scene. Polarization can vary across a frame and results can be uneven. Take this situation for example. The CPL has cut out reflections down here, but as we get higher and the angle of reflection changes, the reflections come back. But this doesn't happen with the telephoto lens because the field of view is much narrower. The G-Series CPL can also enhance blue skies and make clouds really pop, which greatly enhances long exposures. And finally, a bit of a niche use case, but cool nonetheless, is with iPhone product photography and videography, where your G-Series can remove unwanted reflections from studio lights on reflective surfaces, making previously very tricky, almost impossible lighting situations significantly less hassle. So I hope you enjoyed that tutorial for the G-Series CPL filter, and essentially it is just rotate filter until you see your desired results. But obviously I wanted to take it further than that, and it is a bit tricky because I can't tell you objectively, as I said in the beginning, this will happen in this situation if you do this. It's all subjective. It's all how much do you want to cut out. Maybe you want to keep a bit of reflection, maybe you don't. So I hope you found this enjoyable and useful. And if you want more, then there is a ReeFlex Piazza Facebook group where there's 2,000 plus like-minded photographers, all ReeFlex users, ReeFlex customers who've got ReeFlex gear, ReeFlex apps. So if you need some inspiration, maybe you want to check out their work or ask questions, I'm in it for what that's worth. The ReeFlex team are in it as well. So it's a really useful group, a really nice and supportive community there as well. And you can feel free to leave a comment on this video. I will be checking them and answer any questions, things that I've not covered. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. CPL stands for